The bell rang, echoing through the hallways of St. Aldan High like the start of another ordinary day. But for Miss Clara Hayes, it was her first. Her first day as a teacher, young, kind-eyed, and barely 30. She'd left behind the city noise and the comfort of her old job to start over in this small-town school that seemed different. The corridors smelled of dust and ink, and the students' laughter carried an edge, the kind that didn't sound entirely innocent. As Clara walked through the halls, a few heads turned. Some whispered. Others smirked. It wasn't admiration. It was testing. Like wolves sniffing a new lamb, she smiled anyway. "Good morning," she said to a group of boys leaning against the lockers. They didn't respond. One of them, tall, muscular, with cruel confidence in his eyes, smirked and said loud enough for her to hear, "New meat." His name was Bradley Kerr, the kind of student every teacher dreaded, handsome, manipulative, and rotten to the core. His friends laughed, feeding off his arrogance. Clara walked on, pretending not to notice, but her hands tightened around her books. She'd faced worse before, or so she thought. That first week went badly. Her students mocked her softly during class, passing notes, whispering jokes, making faces behind her back. When she asked questions, silence followed, broken only by stifled laughter. One girl, Mara, quiet and pale, tried to help, but the moment she answered correctly, the others turned on her. Clara tried kindness, patience, even humor. Nothing worked. Each day ended with her sitting in the empty classroom, staring at the blackboard, asking herself, "Why did I come here?" But there was something no one at St. Aldan High knew, something Clara had buried deep. She hadn't come here just to teach. She'd come here to start over after a past no one could imagine. She'd been a counselor in a juvenile detention center, a place full of angry young souls, some not much older than these students. She had seen cruelty, fear, and pain up close. And she had learned how to fight it, not with fists, but with understanding and strategy. She could handle bullies. Or so she believed. It happened on a Friday afternoon. The school was quiet. Rain lashed against the windows, and thunder rolled far in the distance. Clara stayed behind to organize lesson plans in the library, her sanctuary, but she wasn't alone. The door creaked open, and in came Bradley and his two friends, Luke and Simon, grinning like hunters. "Miss Hayes," Bradley drawled, stepping closer. "Working late? That's dedication." Clara looked up, calm but alert. "You boys should head home. It's getting dark." Luke laughed. "We just wanted to talk." "Yeah," Simon added, "you've been giving us a hard time lately. Maybe you need to relax a little." Bradley leaned on the table, his hand brushing her papers aside. "You know, teachers aren't supposed to play favorites. And yet, you seem to really like Mara." Clara met his gaze. "Mara is respectful. She's here to learn." He smirked. "Oh, so the rest of us aren't worth your time?" Before she could respond, Luke slammed the library door shut and turned the lock. The echo was deafening. Clara's heartbeat quickened. Her instincts kicked in. She knew this wasn't just mischief, it was a test. Bradley stepped closer. "You think you're in control, don't you, Miss Hayes? But here, we make the rules." The tension was thick. Clara didn't move. Her calmness unsettled them. Then she spoke, her voice steady. "Bradley, how long have you been angry?" The smirk faltered. "What?" "Since your father left," she asked softly. His jaw tightened. The other two glanced at each other, confused. Clara took a step closer, not afraid, not pleading. Just watching him with a kind of piercing gentleness. "You act tough because you think power keeps you safe. But it's just fear in disguise, isn't it?" "Shut up," Bradley snapped, but there was hesitation in his voice. "You hurt others before they hurt you," she continued. "That's what people like your father taught you, isn't it?" For a second, the air froze. Luke lowered his eyes. Simon's smirk faded. Bradley's fists clenched. "You don't know anything about me." "I know enough," Clara said quietly. "I know you're better than this." Something inside him cracked. She could see it. The anger, the confusion, the years of bottled pain behind his arrogance, but instead of softening, he lashed out, slamming his hand on the desk beside her. Papers flew. Clara didn't flinch. She looked him dead in the eye. "Bradley, I've worked with boys who've done worse. Some never got a second chance. You still have one if you stop now. Silence. The rain outside softened to a whisper, then came the sound of keys, Principal Dyer at the door, demanding to know what was going on. Mara had seen them go in and run for help. When the door opened, the boys froze. The principal's face turned red with anger. Out! All of you! Now! Clara didn't say a word. She just gathered her things, her calm never breaking. The next week was strange. No one laughed in her class anymore. The boys kept their heads down. Even Bradley seemed different, quieter, thoughtful. One afternoon, after everyone left, he lingered by her desk. I'm sorry, he muttered, not meeting her eyes. For what happened? Clara nodded gently. Apologies mean something only when they lead to change. He nodded, swallowing hard. I'll try. Months passed. Her class transformed. The laughter that once mocked her became genuine. Mara smiled more. Bradley joined the debate club. The school that once felt like a battlefield became a place of healing, and one morning, as Clara stood by the window watching her students arrive, she realized something profound. It wasn't about winning against bullies. It was about understanding the brokenness behind their cruelty. She hadn't defeated them with anger. She had defeated them with empathy. By the end of the school year, the story of the teacher who faced the bullies in the library had spread quietly among the students, told in whispers, remembered with awe. But no one ever really knew what she said that day. All they knew was that after that moment, no one dared to call her weak again. She had shown them something far scarier than anger, strength with compassion, and that was the lesson that stayed long after the school year ended.